Interesting day, 12/12/2021. And we have, as I put up in the community section, we have 7 planetary bodies. So planets, moons, um, asteroids, and we're about to have the Geminid meteor shower. And that is an alignment that is not, I mean, it's not entirely uncommon, but it's fairly uncommon that it's significant that it's happening right now. And I knew that some of the planets were lining right up, and that was part of the download that had to do with the portal of origins. And now, today, I put up another thing. I've gotten word. It's interesting because my oldest son is not, we've not been able to get him to school for various different reasons. And it turns out that the kids at his high school are protesting. They have done a walkout. There's been stuff going on. And effectively, this talk of pirates and potatoes that I started using as a reference towards adults that are knowingly doing things wrong, or who are either being followers or staying out of it because they don't want to get in trouble and stuff like that. Like, it's picking up. And it makes sense considering how my son and I ended up where we are too, because I was also dealing with standing up for kids. And so I've been thinking about the different signs that have been coming through. I remember when I went on my Wickedly Divine Feminine tour, which I'm still on. I just don't know all the dynamics of that. But like when I went on it and I started on my venture northeast and ended up Idaho, Montana, then southern Idaho, and then back up here, there was a lot of feelings of like kids' wishes, kids not being heard, kids being abused emotionally and or physically, and a lot of the energy of the residential school kids, the indigenous school kids that are being unburied, and even the energy of feminine mother, of a lot of the indigenous women that have been disappearing, and just like a lot of energy, but also the energy of like good men, like the a balance in things. But there's been a lot of kids stuff. And then this morning, Spirit reminded me of a movie from my childhood called We're Back, a dinosaur tale. And that was about like two latchkey kids and two adults who, one was wanting to help fulfill wishes for children, and the other wanted to use their wishes to basically brain drain everybody. And it's the wishing machine, the wishomatic, that reminded me of that. And I'm like, that's right. There's a lot of energy right now going on with the wishes of children, which are super powerful, and like not just actual like literal children and teens, like the inner children of all of us. It's a really big energy. And when I heard about I heard more about the walkout at my oldest son's school, and the different things planned for this next week, and a lot of the adults being pirates. I went and looked up. I was like, okay, we have a particular astrological alignment, and I know what was channeled through in the Portal of Origins video that I did. So I was really curious, are other students protesting things? And is it the same type of stuff? Is it adult misconduct? Is it bathroom stuff? Is it this? Is it that? And yes, there are. I still haven't even fully gotten through all of it. Like, the first thing I looked was, let's look on Facebook. That's where people talk about stuff. And I checked some other social medias, and like, I'm not surprised because we are in Sagittarius energy and we're going into Capricorn energy, and they're both co-ruled by Saturn. Sagittarius has two, Jupiter and Saturn. And it's definitely a time when such things would happen. And if I'm picking things up correctly, because, yes, there are times when kids will act as pirates because we adults have created an environment where that's far more acceptable than being a good person, being a pickle. Like, we have to take accountability that if kids are acting inappropriately, it is on us, the adults, the parents, the school staff, things like that. It doesn't mean we need to beat ourselves up. It does mean we need to be accountable, and we need to recognize that, especially if we're going to treat kids like they are powerless and they have to do whatever we say. Like, at least in the States, we pretty much treat them like property until they're 18. Sometimes not even, like, sometimes even then the government will treat them as bigger property because they can draft you as young as 17. Like, still, But what I'm noticing is a lot of adults quote unquote, as pirates, trying to force the kids into looking like they are having open rebellion. And the response from the kids is kind of like, well, okay, if you want to take it there, like these kids are in many ways being more mature than many of the adults and still keeping things peaceful, still going through with it in the ways that we say are the appropriate ways to do it. With a lot of adults saying, no, you don't get rights, you don't get to have a say, and we're going to keep this quiet and we're going to twist things. And that makes it even harder as, say, an adult myself wanting to get full facts and information, also having been through similar stuff in high school where there were not adults that would stand with me or the other kids. Like, I know both sides. And if the adults are in any way twisting information for any reason, whether altruistic or not, that makes it hard to get good information. And I am very, I would side with the kids. Either way, I would side with the kids. But like, if there was like wrongdoing on the kids' side, how is punishing them going to change that when clearly it is us adults who are creating this sort of thing? That being said, I am curious as a astrologer, a medium, a parent, and things like that, to see where this energy is going, because this energy has been building. And I know it's like, there's effects going on all over the place. Kids, especially teens, are speaking up for themselves. They're speaking up for the younger kids that either don't have the ability to communicate what they want or what they need. And most of the protests are in some way, shape, or form the kids not feeling safe and not feeling heard. If you've been hearing of anything going on in your area, I'd love to see in the comments below, or if you're, another medium sensing this energy but not seeing things, love to hear that too. And, I suppose I'll report back as I hear things. It's an interesting time to be alive, I'll say that. Anyways, I love you all. Be good to yourselves. You deserve it the most. And I'll see you in the next video.